Flying a few thousand feet over the scarred landscape of western Oklahoma, OSU Agriculture Vice President and Dean Jason Lusk now has a unique perspective as he meets Extension educator Dana Bay.
Welcome to Gage.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet.
And Emergency Management Director Riley Latta.
We're coordinating with all them, with all the other organizations who are trying, the Cattlemen's Association, local businesses that we've got here that are helping coordinate the donations coming in for whether that be feed for livestock or clothing and things of that nature, or the individuals who lost their homes. And now we're down to paperwork and trying to help people get situated so we can get prepared to move forward with our lives and obviously be prepared here for the next few months on producer-wise, getting stuff resituated for cattle, livestock, and where they're going to go and how they're going to keep them fed until we can get some rain.
The view from the air shows the scope of the fires, but it takes a conversation on the ground to truly understand what producers and landowners are dealing with.
Over 26,000 acres impacted. What I'm the milkman.
Okay.
So I'm delivering powdered milk various places.
In OSU Extension, we really pride ourselves for being engaged in every county and community around the state. And when our counties are in need, it's one of our responsibilities to be engaged. And we have people out here in western Oklahoma that have experienced a lot of damage from the fire. And our county educators are intimately involved in trying to help respond and get our farming and ranching families back up to speed. So to come out here and see what's happening, see where the needs are, I think it's just an important part of our job and responsibility in OSU Extension.
Give us an idea what you saw from the air this morning.
So I had the chance to fly over the Texas Panhandle, part of western Oklahoma and the Oklahoma Panhandle. And one of the things you can tell from the air is just the immensity of the damage. Tens of thousands of acres have been burned. You can see homes that are destroyed and in cities that were almost taken out, and it really shows you the scale of the damage and the immensity of the need that many farmers and ranchers have in this area.
You have talked to both Dana and Lauren briefly, but talk about the significance of the county extension educator being in the community and just being a part of what people need, now and well into the future for the recovery efforts.
Yeah. So our county educators are embedded in the communities in which they live, and so when a disaster like this happens, they're the people that the community turns to for information, for advice. And so what we see in Ellis County and Beaver County is our county educators are the people that are coordinating a lot of the relief efforts, whether it's coordinating the donations of hay or feed, or trying to provide emergency response for people that have lost their homes, or just to answer questions about what can we do. Our county educators are really at the heart of those efforts to help people get back on their feet.
Just a few weeks ago, dormant grass hugged these western Oklahoma hills. Now the high winds have carried the charred black remnants of grass away, and it looks like someplace else entirely.
Oklahoma, there's just shy of 150,000 acres that burned between 3 counties and on the very western side of the state. We know in Ellis County, I have 9 families that lost their home that they were living in. We lost so much grass in this county, so many fences burned that we've had a hard time, keeping livestock in that are still alive because there's no fence left around them. So producers are having to more or less keep feed in front of them so that they don't wander off.
Unfortunately, we've talked to you out here before after a fire. When we look back at 2018 to where we are now, what have you learned and how are things different this time around?
That was my first involvement with any disaster of any size like that, and it was overwhelming. It was a slap in the face with reality, and it was all consuming. This time, unfortunately I have a better understanding of how to manage those donations, how to help people better, I think, and how to deal with not only the donations and things, but I saw what those producers went through afterwards. And I saw some of the issues that they dealt with personally, whether that was, family issues or mental health issues or things like that. And I think maybe now I'm better prepared to help producers now maybe stave off some of those things from being a problem in the future. It can be overwhelming, but it's also overwhelming, the amount of response. And it's heartwarming, it's humbling to see the way that people have responded. It restores your faith in humanity.
The response to the call for donations has been tremendous. But in that typical Oklahoma spirit, always thinking of others, means many are thinking of themselves last.
The farming and ranching community is a humble community, and they don't like to be in a position to where they have to take something. You know, they want to be the one that's providing. They're the givers, and so they don't like to be on the receiving end of that. But the people have responded from all across the United States, and especially, local areas, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas. Those donations are pouring in, and those producers that need it, they need to take it. It's humbling to see the communities come together, because a catastrophe such as this brings people together. It really does.